Welcome to Real Talk Real Women. My name is Miriam Khalladi and today we have strength and conditioning coach, Olympic weightlifting and CrossFit competitor Camilla Brown on the show. Welcome Camilla, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. So Camilla, you wrote to me that you've always been the competitive type. How did you get involved in sports?
I just grew up loving to make everything into a competition. I just love trying to win, making myself better to win. So I was just always competitive. Grew up in a pretty sports affiliated household, so I just loved it.
Right. When you were younger, you were told you were too weak and too slow. How did that impact you?
That just made me hungry. I was a super skinny kid. It was hard for me to put on any weight at all, like any muscle mass. It was just really kind of a struggle. My metabolism was just too fast. I couldn't like put on any weight. So obviously that's a problem when you're playing sports and you need strength, power, speed. So that just made me really hungry, and I worked my tail off, to get to Division 1 collegiate level. So
Great, great. And you worked hard to play Division 1 NCAA, collegiate
yeah,
softball.
yeah.
What was that like? And for us in Europe and outside of the US, can you explain what that Division 1 NCAA stands for?
So that stands for the National Collegiate Athletics Association. So that's pretty much the top Division 1 league that is within the United States. So, like all the top schools are in that one. So we were in the NCAA.
And that got you into doing handstands and yoga to supplement your strength and mobility. Do you still do things like yoga outside of your lifting?
I still do yoga whenever I can. Actually, at my new job at our gym, we have sports performance yoga 3 times a week. So I try to do that as much as I can, and I love it. It's hard, but I love it.
You compete in Olympic weightlifting and CrossFit, and I've seen footage of some pretty impressive lifts. What's your best advice for women to get stronger, and where do they start?
My best advice is just not being afraid. I think that's the most troubling, or just the biggest problem, is women are afraid that if once they pick up a barbell, they're going to start getting bulky, and it's not the case. That's not the case at all. You have to put in a lot of work in order to get really bulky. So I think just not being afraid of that and breaking that barrier, not being afraid to push yourself to, get PRs and try something new. And once you try, it's an awesome feeling. You're like, oh, I just, back squatted my body weight. That's awesome. And then that kind of just drives you to keep going and pushing yourself further, see how far you can go.
How do you stay motivated and keep pushing yourself to improve, and how do you deal with the occasional bad days?
I keep pushing myself because I have goals that I write out every year, and I try to fulfill those goals within the year. So I always remind myself why I started and why I keep pushing myself day in and day out, because when you have a goal and you don't make it's obviously devastating. So just knowing what your goal is, what your dream is, and finding a specific plan in order to fulfill your goal is the biggest thing. And there's going to be hard days. I have hard days all the time. Sometimes you are like, why am I doing this to myself? I'm sore, I'm frustrated. But at the end of the day, you just realize the more bad days you have, the better you'll become.
Right.
So it's just all about enjoying the process and enjoying the struggle, because if it was easy, anybody could do it. So just remembering that.
You hold a kinesiology bachelor degree with a minor in psychology and love learning. What has been the most important lesson you've learned about health and fitness this far?
There's a lot, but I think the biggest thing is just overall being healthy. Focusing on just being healthy, living a healthy lifestyle instead of trying to get into the next fad diet or the next fad exercise. Everybody's just trying to do booty building exercises. Well, why don't you go out for a run too? Or everybody wants abs. It's technically you already have abdominal muscles, you just want them to show. So I think that's the biggest thing, is understanding that living a healthier lifestyle in general is going to make a bigger impact for the rest of your life.
Right,
instead of short-term little fad goals. So
Let's talk a little bit about goals. You love setting goals and then crushing them. How do you go about setting goals for yourself? And do you have a specific plan of attack when it comes to achieving them?
Yeah, so I personally will have goals. I'll have general goals for the year, just like trying to read an hour a day of anything. I think that's really important, and it's kind of becoming like a lost hobby. So I have goals like drinking, almost a gallon of water a day, stuff like that, just to, keep me healthy throughout the year. But of course, I have goals, PR goals. So by the end of the year, I want to be able to lift X amount, that sort of thing. So I think setting those goals is really important, but the most important part is doing research and finding a plan that will work for you in order to achieve them.
Right.
Because it's easy to say, like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, but if you don't have a plan, it's kind of just meaningless,
You're currently a strength and conditioning coach at Velocity Sports Performance. I know that one of your aspirations is to become a great coach and inspire athletes. Who has been your biggest inspiration in life?
My dad, he got me started. He was always, a workout fiend. He got me into, he saw my potential. I was athletic, so that's why he got me into, starting to lift weights and, doing conditioning so I could fulfill my dreams. So he helped me with that plan. And he's always supported me 100% all the way through my collegiate career. He would always take me to the park and we'd practice on weekends, just us, even after like long days of work, he'd still like, if I said I'd like get to the park, he's like, okay, let's go. The name for me was one more, just one more. Cause like I always just wanted to practice, get as many reps as I could. So definitely my dad.
And I'm confident you're already an inspiration to many.
Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Where can people learn more about you and connect with you online?
Definitely Instagram, Facebook. That's pretty much it. Twitter,
Right.
I guess. I don't use Twitter too much, but definitely Instagram.
Right. And I will also make sure to put your links below this video.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Is there anything else you would like to talk about today that you feel we've missed?
Yeah, I think just women need to stop being afraid to pick up a barbell. You can achieve anything you want with a barbell. So, and just focusing on overall strength and being a functional human being as opposed to just looking good. I think that's more important in the long run, just overall health. And I wish women would see that more instead of focusing on one area of their body that they want to enhance. So,
thank you so much for being on the show today, Camilla.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome. And thank you so much for watching. My name is Miriam Khalladi. For more inspiration, check out our website at realtalkrealwomen.com.